Hey, what up everyone, MichaelBePetty here. Obviously, we all know that the beauty community is in shambles. I don't know if there's gonna be any coming back from the things and the truths that we have heard. So I thought what the beauty community needs is a morbidly obese dude or guy who really knows nothing about beauty and really knows jack shit about skincare really, to do a nighttime skin routine. Because, you know, apparently that's what we do now. I know that I had said that I was gonna do a Q&A, so I figured what I would do is I would show you guys my nighttime skincare routine, I guess, and then answer some questions while I'm doing it. So first I wanna start off by saying I just trimmed my beard. One thing you may not know about me, if you follow me on Instagram, you know about this. I suffer from really severe folliculitis, like really bad. I know a lot of black men suffer from this. It's like very common with people who have helixed hair apparently, and usually it's just in my scalp. It's why my hair is pretty long right now, because I do have some bumps right now and I'm waiting for them to kind of go away. And it's also why I don't really go to a barber that much. Like I know in a past video you guys saw me with a fade. It's made me extremely self-conscious about going to a barber because I don't want them to see my bumps. And I know that they see them, and the barber I saw, he's like, oh, you have folliculitis. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, well, here's some like treatments and stuff that you can use. Well, it's still like embarrassing, and it hurts sometimes to go and get it done because they have to go over the same spot over and over again. So it's why I choose to just shave my head off. Like I don't edge it or anything. That's why my edges are like kind of out of whack and stuff like that, because I just go into the backyard with my barber shears and I just fucking just like the lowest setting it can go and just make sure it's all even, and then I'm done. Like I don't worry about getting the right corners or stuff like that, because it makes me very self-conscious, and I don't like going to a barber and explaining it, and you know, even though my barber's seen it, and if I'm having like a bad flare-up, it's just not a good look. Also, I get it on my face too, so if you followed me on Instagram, you would see that like I think it was like 3 weeks ago or something, I shaved my face. I usually don't shave my face, I just trim my beard down, because if the hair is still there, the folliculitis doesn't come up really, it doesn't get inflamed. I shaved it and I broke out. Like it was so bad, like I just had white bumps like all over my beard. And so if you go on my Instagram, you can see the pictures, because I needed some advice because that had never really happened to me before. I actually see my dermatologist tomorrow. We have been discussing me going on Accutane, because apparently Accutane is a treatment for that, because I don't like taking antibiotics all the time. Like if I have a really bad flare-up, I usually go and see my dermatologist and they prescribe me like doxycycline for a couple of months until it goes away, but then it always comes back. So, and I've been tested for like MRSA and all that stuff, and it's always come back negative. It's just I have severe folliculitis, but apparently Accutane is a treatment for it. So we've been discussing me going on Accutane, and I think I'm just gonna fucking bite the bullet and just fucking do it, even though I really don't want to deal with like the blood test and the side effects of it, because I really hate taking a lot of medications, because I already take quite a few already. I feel I take quite a few already, so it's like I really don't want to add on to it. But you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go for it. I have already washed my face. I've already trimmed my beard. I wash my face with this stuff called Jax. I don't know if you guys can read this. It's called Jack Black Authentic and Original Pure Clean Daily Facial Cleanser. It has aloe and sage leaf in it. It has a little bit of toner in it, so it kind of has that like cleaning effect. I like it. It doesn't really have like a strong smell or anything, and it's very sensitive and good for my skin, and it keeps me, you know, it cleans the skin. I use it every morning, and I use it every morning when I'm in the shower, and then I use it at night before I go to bed. But anyway, let's get into a question real quick. Gina G says, I want to know your favorite foods or maybe your favorite hobby. Okay, my favorite food, oh god, I just really like cheeseburgers. I mean, I haven't had a cheeseburger in a while. I haven't had a cheeseburger in a while because I feel like it's not a cheeseburger without the bun, and I don't like eating cheeseburgers without the like in a lettuce wrap. I don't fucking like it. I'd rather not eat it. It like, I feel like it's tempting. I really enjoy cheeseburgers. My favorite guilty food, even for a long time, has always been spicy nacho Doritos. I fucking love spicy nacho Doritos. I don't know what it is. I'm not really much of a sweet tooth person. Oh, and Chipotle. Chipotle will always be like a love of my life. Before surgery, after surgery, I fucking love Chipotle. I'll always love Chipotle. I don't know what it is about Chipotle. I don't know if it's the convenience, the flavors, what it is. I fucking love Chipotle, and I fucks with Chipotle really, really hard. So the next thing I'm gonna do is apply some toner. I got this toner. It's Kyle's facial fuel or whatever. This is all recommended to me by my dermatologist. It has bamboo extract in it. It's pretty good. It does the job. I like it. I don't know. I don't really know shit about, like, I'd be the worst beauty guru ever, because I honestly don't really know that much about what I'm doing. I asked my dermatologist, like, hey, what do I do to get better skin? And she was like, this is what you do. Clearly, I don't have the best skin. I have, like, mediocre skin at most. But I'm just going to put some on my... Derry07 says, I'm currently a junior who is full IB diploma candidate. Ooh, girl, been there. I believe they said that you did IB. I did. Do you have any advice for me? My advice for... See, I did IB a long time ago. I think I need some more because it's, like, drying up really fast. I did IB a long time ago. I graduated from high school in 07, right? So, when I did IB, it was pretty new to my school. It wasn't, like... It wasn't like an established program. We were kind of the guinea pigs. There was 2 classes ahead of me that had the IB full diploma program. So we kind of, when we went there, like when I got to high school, it was all brand new. IB. See, I took TOK, I did the like papers, I took the fucking test, I did it all. I mean, I graduated full diploma, I just didn't go away to school like an idiot. Well, it wasn't really my fault. I could go into a whole story about that, but I had some spitefulness from a parental unit who would not fill out my shit for me, so I couldn't apply to go away to school. It was annoying. But my advice is, if you like the IB program, do it. If they have an AP program, because the classes are essentially the same and you get the same amount of like acknowledgements when you go away to school, from what I've been told from my friends who were IB. Because you can take an AP class and take the test, and if you get a good enough score in it, they'll give you college units. Same thing with IB full diploma. There's only 2 girls in my class, the valedictorian and the salutatorian, that went away to school and like started as sophomores because of IB full diploma. Because they scored high enough. I don't know what it was, but they were the only ones who managed to do that. I mean, I don't know. I get that like people think that it's important and everything, but I honestly think the IB program makes you do a lot of busy work shit. Like that TOK class was stupid, theory of knowledge. Oh my god. And it was like a 7th period class, which meant it was like after school hours, like we had to go there. It was so dumb. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the long run, it'll prepare you for college for sure. It'll make you, because college is a lot easier than IB. At least at the introductory levels, like at the undergraduate levels. So, I mean, just go for it, put your head down, try your best. That's all I can say. Here's a question from Jillybeans57. If you won a big lottery, what would your first 3 purchases be? First one would be a house. I'd buy like a really nice house, like a dream house. The next thing would be, I'd probably buy a lot of stock. I have stock already. I have like Amazon stock that I've had for a long time. I'd probably buy more stock and diversify my portfolio a little bit more. And then the next thing I would buy, because with the house, I feel like you'd have to buy furniture and stuff already with it, right? So that's like, we'll include all that in it. Maybe like a really bomb entertainment room. I don't know, like I really like movies and I like TV shows and I like to watch TV. I'm a homebody. I'm a single child, so I'm an introvert. I like to be alone. I don't know, like that, yeah, that would probably be it. Like those would be the 3 things. I would get a house, I would invest more in stocks, and then I'd make a really bomb entertainment room, like theater room with like theater seating, all that good stuff. Brianna Jadib says, this may be a dumb question, but I've always dreamed about living in California. Could you talk about the pros and cons of living in California? Do you love Cali? Best restaurant, places, museums in Cali? LOL, love you, friend. I've only lived in California, so I have nothing to really compare it to. I love California. Where I live, we're extremely diverse. I don't live like in Orange County, but I do live in like an upper, like a socioeconomic place, like I guess up and coming. There's a lot more white people where I live, which is interesting because we're like surrounded by predominantly like Latino or Hispanic communities. So we get like the best of both worlds. I've always liked it. I like the diversity. I like the laid backness. I love the fact that it's not super rural, but it's also kind of small at the same time. Like, but I don't live in a big city. Like I don't live in Los Angeles or anything, but we live in a good sized city, and we get to experience a lot of things. My favorite restaurant of all time is Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in, I think it's in Burbank. It's either in Burbank or Anaheim. I've only been there like 3 times, but I've loved it every single time. Another good place, the Los Angeles Science Museum is really dope to go to. We went to like the Disney Philharmonic a long time ago. That was really cool. I don't know, I like LA. There's a lot of things I like LA. I like California. There's a lot of things in California that you can do. It never gets old. I don't know, I love it. I love that there's a beach. I love that the thing I most love about California is there's like a lot of different kinds of topography in California. Like there's the beach, there's the mountains, there's like the plains, there's the desert. You get everything all in one place, and it doesn't take that far to get from A to B. So, you get to experience more than like if you lived out in the Midwest and all you get to experience is like rural life, and then like the big city or like the big hubs. Like you don't get to experience the beach, you don't get to experience mountains or mountain living. Mountain living is really dope. I live extremely close to a city called Idlewild, and we go up there once every couple of months and just like walk around and stuff, and it's beautiful, and the weather's really nice, and it's super green, and it only takes like an hour and a half to get there. It's not even that far away. So yeah, I really like California. If you're interested in living here, then go for it. It's just going to be really expensive. The cost of living in California is ridiculous. That's one con I can like come up with, is that like the cost of living in California is ridiculous. Gas prices are ridiculous. Yeah, so, but yeah, for the most part, I really like California. So now I'm gonna put on this serum. It's called, I don't think you can read that. I don't think you can read that. Can you read that? Am I a beauty guru yet? You can't read that because it's like plastic, like, and silvery. But it's called Lab Series Skincare for Men. This was kind of expensive. This was like $60, I think, for this like little bit right here. I don't know, my dermatologist was like, you need this is what works, like blah blah blah, like this is what's gonna help. I guess you only put on a little bit. It's like a little pumper, so I just put some on the back of my hand like that, and then I rub it in my face. It smells really good. It smells like oranges. I don't know. Let's answer another question. Zen Milk asked, what are some tips you have on pushing through bad anxiety when you are in a situation where taking a break or stepping out is not an option? I have to start being more adult, doing more adult things in life, and I'm not sure how to manage through it. Love you. Okay, this is like, I've kind of talked about this before. I have really bad anxiety. I have agoraphobia. Anxiety is something that I've had for a long time. Even as talking to my therapist and stuff, I've come to the realization that I had anxiety even as a child. Like I had really bad stomach aches. I would throw up all the time. It's just been a part of my life, and I've lived with it for a long time. It wasn't until I was in like 21 years old when I like started having really bad panic attacks, like where I like couldn't breathe, and then I would stop going places. I would like avoid things altogether because I had an anxiety attack there, or you know, so on and so forth. So what we did was exposure therapy. Like we slowly exposed me to like surroundings that I wasn't familiar with, in crowds that were bigger than what I was used to dealing with. And that's really worked. Now, that doesn't work every time, obviously. Like that's not gonna work every single time. I don't know. When you're in situations where you feel like you can't take a break, there's always some kind of out. Like I've learned that there's always some kind of out. Now, I mean, I've been in situations where I was like taking an exam and I started having a full-blown panic attack. If you go up to your professor and you look like you're hyperventilating, typically they understand. And I've like made it a point to like let people know in situations where this could arise, that like this is what might happen if I'm around you. And for the most part, it doesn't happen, and I'm pretty lucky when it comes to that. But I think the biggest thing to do is just try to breathe through it. Like if you can, just sit there and like do in 2 3 4s, out 2 3 4s. Doing the breathing techniques really works. I touch my nose a lot. As you know, that's like my self-coping mechanism, is I'll do this. I just try to push through it, because if you like sit and you like allow yourself to become scared, it will then become trauma, and then it'll be harder for you to like get over it. So just try to work through it the best you can. And hopefully it works, and hopefully you're able to like overcome what it is that is causing you to feel panicky, and you'll realize that that's no longer a threat. So you'll rewire your brain to not go into fight or flight mode during that situation in the future. Masa says, being biracial, did you ever hate yourself in your early days for being black? I'm half black Asian, and I used to hate myself and other black people because I thought they are the worst in society. But later on, by high school, I learned to love myself and had many black friends that made me love the black culture. Okay, I have like a different experience. I've learned that people who are biracial or mixed have like very different perspectives on like race, and like different, even amongst mixed people. Like white people have a different opinion on or perspective on race. Black, you know, every different ethnicity has like their own perspective on like how race works. That's how I feel. And I've learned that even amongst mixed people, like we have different opinions or whatever about things. I never hated being black. I didn't know I was black. That was my biggest thing, is that when I was growing up, I didn't know I was black until I was like 12 years old. I knew I was different, but I didn't know how I was different. Okay, maybe 12 years old is a bit extreme. Maybe like 9 or 10. Like 10 years old is when like I learned there were like the black kids at school, and like I never got to hang out with them, or like I didn't have a lot in common with them because I grew up in an all-white family. So I never got to experience what black culture was. So it was very foreign to me, so I didn't know how to like fit in. And all you want to do at that age is fit in. So I was a jock, and I had my friends in the neighborhood that I was lucky enough to go to school with, so that's just who I hung out with. I didn't hate being black. That was never like, I never felt like I hated being black. I hated feeling different. I know that was like a big thing, but that was multi-layered in many ways. I hated being so big, hated being so tall, I hated being gay. Like I hated not being able to be my true self. Like that was a big thing. Like, and then on top of that, like I don't look like everyone else, so that was also very like confusing. So, but I couldn't say that I hated being black because I didn't know what black culture was. It wasn't a part of my life. I wasn't privy to it. So how could I like hate something that I didn't know about? I actually asked some questions on Instagram, so I'm gonna look up some of the Instagram questions too real quick. Crappy Bat says, tips for people who have wanted to make videos themselves but have always been too insecure to ever start, like how to even get followers, subscribers, views, or friends online at all. Anyway, congratulations, love and peace. Thank you, Crappy Bat. This is all weird. I don't know how this all happened. I just started making these videos. I know Eve gave me a shout out, CXNT gave me a shout out at the very beginning, and I was making these videos about Amberlynn, and I'm still making these videos about Amberlynn, and people liked them, and people started watching them, people started subscribing, and like now I have like a viewer base, which is like very foreign to me. My suggestion to you is just fucking make the videos and make what you want to make and put it out there and just see what happens. Like, and start talking to other people who are kind of making videos similar to you are, and then start like slowly making friends, and like you'll be able to like feed off of each other, and bounce ideas off of one another, and slowly make a channel. I don't know, like that. I just you don't even have to have a decent camera. You can use your phone. Shit, Amberlynn did it for 4 fucking years. She used her fucking phone. She had 2 phones. You don't really need anything special. You don't need any special software. I think if you are personable enough, people like it, and they'll continue to watch. Robert_Stu said, what is your favorite music genre? That's a hard one. Everyone knows that I love K-pop. I listen to K-pop way more than I listen to any other music. Back in the day, like when I was younger, I was a big R&B fan. So I loved like Mariah Carey, Ashanti, Blackstreet, I loved, like, I had a Motown album that I used to listen to all the time. That's what my mom listened to. She was like, a lot of my friends grew up listening to like the Beatles and the Beach Boys. I grew up listening to Diana Ross and Al Green. Like, that was who I listened to. I didn't know who they were because I didn't see like videos of them, but we listened to the Motown album, like the Greatest Hits Motown album, like over and over again. And I loved it. And then I slowly started, I love pop music. I mean, Britney Spears will forever be a queen. Christina, all the pop greats. I loved Dream. I loved 98 Degrees, NSYNC. Loved all that shit. And then around the end of high school, towards like my young adult years, I got really heavy into EDM. My all-time favorite song is Morgan Page featuring Lissy, The Longest Road, Deadmau5 remix. I will listen to that song forever forever. I fucking love that song. I don't know what it is. I love her voice. I love the Deadmau5 remix. I love everything about that song and the arrangement. Another song that I also love, and I was thinking about getting it tattooed on me, was Above and Beyond's Ocean Lab presents On a Good Day. When I was really going through my depression or like really going through anxiety, I'll pop that song on and it makes me cry, but afterwards I feel better. And it's uplifting, but her voice is so haunting. I don't know, I love that song. I don't know what it is about that song, I love it. And now I listen to K-pop a lot. I don't want to say exclusively, but I listen to it mostly when I'm doing homework, studying, or like playing video games. Like if I'm playing World of Warcraft or something, I'll put K-pop on because I don't have to listen to the lyrics. Like because to me, I don't know Korean. So like to me, when I'm singing along to it, I'm just making sounds. It's like a rhythm. It's not even like I'm talking a language. So so I listen to like Red Velvet, Girls' Generation, Wonder Girls, The Boys, EXO, shit, I could go on, Monsta X, fucking GWSN, fucking 4 Minute, Hyuna, you know, I listen to it all. I love it all. I mainly fucks with the girl groups. I don't know what it is, but the girl groups fucking do it for me. So I listen to everything. The only kind of music I don't really listen to is country music. I don't like country music. I just don't. Although there's one caveat to that. I love Shania Twain, okay? In my first video, I put a Shania Twain song in it, which is why I can't even monetize it, but I love me some Shania Twain, so yeah. So now I'm gonna put on some under eye cream. This is called Rock. Ugh. It's an eye cream, yeah, that's what it is. I don't know, this is what my dermatologist told me to get, so that's what I got. So yeah, put this on the back of my hand. That's a lot. And then what I've been told is I can't see what I'm doing. I can't even see like where I'm putting it on my face. I'm probably putting so much on it now. I'm looking in the viewfinder right now and it looks like I have like the black stuff that you put on your face when you play football. I don't even remember what that's called right now because I never used it because I was a bitch and I was afraid it was gonna get in my eye when I sweat. So, but you're supposed to put it on and pat it in. You're not supposed to, I don't know. I was using this other under eye cream during the day and it was making my under eyes turn yellow. So I don't know what it was about it, but it was making the underneath my eyes turn yellow and people were talking about it in the videos and I was like, I do look like I have jaundice. I don't know what the fuck that is, but so I had to stop using it. And it was like a day under eye cream. Like this is for strictly at night. Angie the Pangy asked, do you play any musical instruments? I do. My main instrument is the tenor saxophone. I played saxophone. I started playing saxophone in 4th grade. I love it. I'm not good at jazz. A lot of people assume that because you play saxophone, you have to be good at jazz. Improv is not my shit. I'm not good at improv. But give me a piece of sheet music, I can sight read like the best, dude. I can sight read like no other. But yeah, improv, not my zhuzh. So because I can play saxophone, I can play a lot of woodwinds. So I can play the clarinet, I can play the bassoon. I'm not that good at the oboe. I can't get my embouchure tight enough for that. I can't play the flute. I play a little bit of the trumpet. I played the tuba for a while because they needed a tuba player in the concert band in my freshman year. So I did that while I played tenor saxophone in the wind ensemble. So I marched Barry sax for a year. If that's interesting to anyone. I was the first person at my high school brave enough to fucking haul that motherfucker out there and march a Barry saxophone. So I was my own section leader. What is your favorite piece of gay media? Ooh, does that mean like the characters are gay or like, I don't know, because I consider Bravo TV gay media, but I know that that's not it. Shit, you know? I mean, that shit's made for gay men. I don't know who else watches that. I know a lot of straight women watch it, but I listen to a podcast called Dumb Gay Politics. I obviously watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I like it. I don't think it's like the be-all end-all of everything, but I do really enjoy it. Hey Queen is great too. Johnny McGovern's hilarious. I love Johnny McGovern. I followed his career for a long time. The first gay show I guess I watched was probably like Gay as Folk. I'm trying to remember what character I saw like on a TV show that was gay. Other than The Real World. I mean, everyone saw like The Real World with Pedro. Because I knew I was gay when I was like 6. I had crushes on boys when I was like 6 years old, and I knew that that was like different. I don't know it was called gay, but I knew that I knew I was different. Yeah, that's pretty much like all the gay media I guess I consume. If it's good, I watch it. Like, that's just how I am. Like, it doesn't have to like represent me or whatever. Megan PS asks, do you ever go between other career options before choosing nursing? And if so, how did you finalize your choice? Currently going back and forth between what I want to do in healthcare and choosing something that won't make my bachelor's in biology a complete waste. Also, love your videos. I saw in a past stream you said you listen to podcasts, and if you don't already, I think you would love the last podcast on the left. I think it would suit your sense of humor. I've heard about the last podcast on the left. I have it on my Pocket Cast playlist, and I never listen to it. I don't know what it is. I have so many other things that I have to listen to, and I just never get to it. But I've heard, I think it's been like one of the highest rated podcasts for a while now. But yeah, I do want to get into it. How did I settle on nursing? And what was I going at before? So when I first went to community college, I was going to do psychology. Came to find out, well, I was like a big pothead, so I never really tried that hard. And then I like stopped doing that and I just worked. And now I'm back at school. And originally when I came back to school, I was going to do communications disorder because I wanted to be a speech pathologist or a speech therapist. And then I talked to someone who's a speech therapist, and although it's very intriguing to me and I do think that I would do very well at it, it's such a narrow scope. Like, that was the biggest thing about it, was like, I was like, fuck, so I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna get a bachelor's in communications disorders, and I'm gonna have to go to grad school, because you have to go to grad school to be a speech therapist. And I'm gonna get my fucking graduate degree, my PhD in like audiology, or whatever the fuck I need to get it in. And then all I'm gonna be able to do is like either work in a nursing home, or work at a hospital, or work with kids like at a school, helping them learn to speak or regaining speech, or like helping figure out what the mechanisms in their mouth and stuff that are causing them issues with swallowing. You know, it's like, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of different things you can do, but for me, it was too narrow. Like, I need to be able to change things every now and then in my life, and so I felt like nursing, especially getting a bachelor's degree in nursing, was more appropriate or something more interesting to me and what I wanted to do, because I do want to help people. But nursing, I feel like there's just so much shit you can do. Like, you can work in a hospital, you can work in a doctor's office, you can work at like an outpatient clinic, you can be a traveling nurse, you can be a nurse that like goes to people's houses, you can be like, you can work in a hospice center, you can go and become a nurse practitioner, you can become a physician's assistant, like, you can do all of these different things. Like, I mean, I know in California with the Affordable Care Act, they're allowing a lot of nurse practitioners down here to open their own offices and like have their own patients. So I just felt like that made more sense to me. And I love the way a hospital works. I don't know what it is about hospitals that I find so intriguing. I know a lot of people associate hospitals with death, but I associate hospitals with life. Like, I associate it with like people doing everything within their power to like help people live better lives, or to just help people live in general. And I think that's very intriguing, and it works like a well-oiled machine. And like, good hospitals are fucking good, you know. I mean, there are bad hospitals out there, but like, I'm lucky enough to live near 3 like really of the top tier hospitals in the nation, and so whenever I go there, I'm just like wide-eyed and just like, whoa, like this, I want to work here, I want to be a part of this. And so I don't know, I just find that so intriguing and so interesting. And I love the one-on-one that a nurse has with a patient. You know, I thought I wanted to be a doctor, but I mean, I could probably like get my shit together and go to medical school and do all that shit, because I do think I am smart enough for it. But it's so late in life already. I'm 29 years old, right? You know, I'm just now starting everything to become a nurse. And it's like, if I were to go and get my bachelor's in like whatever I needed to get in order to get into medical school, and then I got into medical school, I did 4 years of that, then I got into a residency program, that's like another 4 fucking years, you know, or an intern program, and then I have to become a like, I would be like 40 years old by the time I was done with all that shit. And then I'd be in a ton of debt, because I mean, I have money and I'm able to pay for my school right now out of pocket, and I'm able to like afford living and everything right now, so I don't have to take student loans out. Thank God, I'm a lucky one, and I know that I've like every day. But I don't want to be like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt when I'm 40 years old. Like, and it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that intriguing to me. So nursing, to me, I like the one-on-one you get. You get to spend way more time with the patient. You see less patients throughout the day too. So, I don't know, I just like, I don't know. And everyone around me that's a nurse, I just like look at them in awe. Like, I look at them as like superheroes. So I want to be a superhero too. And so, yeah, so that's why I chose nursing. I know nursing isn't for everyone, and I know that like some people get into it and they end up not liking it, and hopefully I'm not one of those people. Also, now like doing my anatomy classes and stuff like that, like there's a lot of people that want to be a nurse, but there's so many people that want to be physical therapists right now. Everyone's doing kinesiology. And I'm like, bitch, when everyone's gets done with these classes and everyone's trying to get in the same programs, y'all gonna be so pissed because everyone's gonna be vying for the same fucking jobs, and there's not a ton of openings for physical therapy. It was like 5-6 years ago, there was also a big push for like people to go to pharmacy school and become like pharmacists. And now I hear all the time about how like wages in pharmacies are going down because there's just so many people who are qualified for the job and they're willing to take a pay cut to get the job. All right, now, goddamn, I've been talking so long. Now I'm gonna put on some moisturizer. This is like the last thing I do. This is by Baxter. It's an oil-free moisturizer. It literally smells like nothing, but it feels really good and it keeps me nice and moist throughout the night. Ew, look at that. That was a lot. PSI Love Me asks, what do you look for in a boyfriend? Ugh, God, I don't know. I haven't even thought about dating in so long. The last relationship I was in was like 6 years ago. I just like don't care. I don't give a fuck about other, like, it's not that I don't give a fuck, but like caring about someone else's like opinion on like what I'm doing right now is not the thing I need. That was like a big issue with my past relationship. It's not that I'm selfish, it's just that I don't like being told what I can and cannot do. So if I want to like not go out, or if I want to like stay at home by myself, I don't want to feel guilty that I want to stay home. So I need to, first of all, so I guess the first thing I look for in a boyfriend is patience. So if you're patient, that's great. I'm not a lover. There are people that use different kinds of love languages. My love language isn't like affection. So if you want a bunch of affection from me, I'm not the right one. Like if you need constant reassurance that like I'm attracted to you and stuff like that, then I'm not the one for you. Because I honestly, it's just, I don't know, it's not my thing. It all depends on like, I mean, not to be graphic or whatever, but it's like, bottom or top. So like if I'm gonna be bottom, like I want someone who's big too. I don't want someone who's tiny. That's like an overshare right now. I don't know, I've had boyfriends of different ethnicities. It's never been an issue. I look for, yeah, patience and compassion, and someone that's just like not about the bullshit, like not about wanting to go out all the time and like wanting to like go to the clubs and like isn't about playing games, and also someone that doesn't want to be in an open fucking relationship. You'd be surprised at like how hard it is to find that in the gay community. Someone that's like not wanting to like open the relationship after 2 months. Like if you want to just fuck other people and just go around and fuck other people, I don't need to be in a relationship for that. Like you can just go and fuck other people. Like we don't need to call each other like have a label. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for or whatever. I know that that's not, I don't know, it is what it is. But yeah, so God, that's my skincare routine. That's my Q&A. Hopefully it was interesting. Hopefully we learned some things. My skin's looking nice and moist. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for those people who asked questions. I know I didn't get to all of them. I am looking into getting a P.O. box, so I'm going to be doing that within the next couple of weeks, and then once I get that up and running, I'll let everyone know about it. So if you want to like send me artwork, because I know a lot of people be like, I want to send you artwork, and it's like, I don't really feel comfortable like giving people my home address right now. So when I get a P.O. box going, then I'll make sure to let everyone know. My Instagram is MichaelBePetty. My Twitter is MichaelBePetty. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of my glowing skincare routine and if I have a future in beauty. because, you know, we need someone who has no idea how to put on makeup or skincare products or anything for that matter to like be showing everyone out here and getting all these PR boxes and shit, you know? Shit, send me a PR box, Maybelline. I'm here. Sister's here, sister's ready, sister's here to slay. Like, you know, we can make this happen. But remember to subscribe. And until next time, toodles.